Hello, welcome back to another video and Merry Christmas to you and all your family and friends from the UK Urban Prepper. Whether you've joined me here on the UK Urban Prepper channel or by the fires of the Prepper Fireside or even in the smoky room of the Prepper Podcast, it's been great to have you with me this year. The support for this channel has been absolutely unreal. We've took it from nothing, starting out the very early start of this year, all the way up to nearly 7,000 subscribers now. I thought, as well as just a Merry Christmas message, we'd do a little review of the year, of where it's gone, and our preps, the highlights of the year and the fails of the year, before we close out on our Christmas message. So sit tight, grab a brew, and let's get on with it. So, loads of new preps this year, not including the food hauls that we've done over the course of this channel that has really filled out my pantry, but more about the individual little wins that I've had. My water filtration game has gone up really well. I used to rely on tablets and life straws and things like that. Now I have a full reverse osmosis machine that could take any dirty water, put it into clean in no time at all. So that's really stepped up my water game. I've stocked up on loads of older hand tools and showed you the places I've got them from, like the antique malls that I've gone to, as well as car boot sales. I've established a lot more space for my preps, which is difficult when you're in a small house, but I've got a small prep room now, as well as a secondary storage unit in a different location to my house, as well as the clever little storage solutions that we found on this channel together. I've also started training more, learning more about foraging from the people within our community, as well as doing archery lessons now to improve the practical side of prepping. So what's been the highlights from my year? Well, there's all sorts of highlights. There's lovely moments. When you've got children, the highlights are everywhere, of course, we know that. But when it comes to here on the UK Urban Prepper channel, the fact that we took this channel from 0 to 7,000 in a year is absolutely amazing to me. Never expected to get to these kind of numbers, never expected people to want to listen to me. And I've even had emails through from people saying that I helped them start prepping, or I'm the reason they started prepping. And just to know that you've made that difference in somebody's lives that could help them in a really bad situation is all the reward I've ever needed. But you guys have gone one step beyond that, and I've had amazing donations. I've had amazing gifts sent through Amazon, things like this all the way throughout the year, from starting quite small up until recent times when we're at 7,000. The gifts, the super chats, everything like that that comes through, the PayPal donations, have made such a difference in a very difficult time for me and my family. Over the last few months, we've had last 3 months, even if you include the time that my partner was off work as well through illness, we've not had the greatest time, and financial prepping is not really something I've done as well as I really should have. So you guys, with your donations, have really helped us out. And although it's a frugal Christmas this year, it's still a Christmas nonetheless. And that's mainly down to you guys, not just donating, but watching, clicking like and subscribing. You've just made such a difference to mine and the family's life this year. So I can't thank you enough for that. Of course, it's not just me that's benefited from this. I did my 90-mile hike, which was an absolute epic journey. And it might not seem like much to some people when you're living in the vast expanses of America. 90 miles might seem like a drop in the ocean. But walking that across the UK solo without any sort of company or anything like that was definitely a challenge for me. And I've done a video on that, so you can see all the details on that if you want to. But more to the point, it's because I lost a good friend of mine from another channel who passed away at only 29-year-old through heart problems. So between me and you guys, we raised nearly just over £2,000 for the British Heart Foundation. So again, you guys are amazing, absolute salt of the earth, and we did a really good thing. And hopefully we can continue to do at least one challenge a year that helps out a charity. And when we do that, of course, any revenue through the channel, whether it's a super chat or people watching adverts for that month that we're doing the charity event, will all go to the charity. I've actually also met so many amazing people in the comments, in the live chats, in the actual talking to them in the fireside and the Prepper podcasts. It's been unreal. It was such an experience and such great learning for me as well. And in that, I've even created what I'd call lifelong friendships with the guys from the fireside. And they can't even put a value on that. And of course, towards the end of this year, we've established the UK Prepper Network. And I hope to see a lot more of this in 2025 as we grow that as an entity and we can start networking between ourselves and bringing all these smaller groups together. But it's not all sweetness and roses, of course. We've had some fails along the way. You've seen some of my fails when I've tried to duplicate the making your own MREs and had to put an apology video out for it, as well as when I was training for my hike and had an epic fail on that where I cut my finger open and couldn't make it and the boots weren't great. The fails are all over the place. It's not to say I'm a failed prepper, but this is how we learn. This is how we adapt. And this is how you guys have given me some awesome advice. Didn't manage to move house, which was our main goal for this year, more down to financial aspects and things like that and my partner's work situation. So we've ended up still in the same place, but our ambition is still to move to somewhere where we can start some proper prep steading, as the urban survivalist would call it, and start growing our own stuff out in a garden. So moving is still a major priority for us, but that was a fail, the fact that we set that goal and didn't achieve it this year. I was nowhere near prepared for this holiday season. As much as I usually budget the last few wages towards Christmas, obviously with the HMRC problems I've had and my partner's work issues, really failed in preparing the holiday season as I should, which has started me thinking about next year straight away and how I can prepare better for that in case something like this happens again. It really does prove the point that your own personal SHTF can happen at any time. This doesn't have to be a global or a national crisis for it to hit home. And it has done with us. And luckily, we're not going to go hungry at any point. We're not going to be without heat. We're not going to be without cooking supplies because we've prepped for things like this. So although it's a frugal Christmas, it's still going to be a Christmas, as I said before. Learning from that, I might look into more wealth preps in 2025. Maybe stocking some silver, stuff like that, because if I had a few ounces of silver, a few ounces of gold, that would have come in handy to cash in at this point to make up for the deficit. So food for thought and always learning. So we'll end obviously by saying Merry Christmas to one and all and a very happy and prosperous new year. Look after yourself during this festive period, look after each other and watch out for loved ones, especially considering we've no winter fuel allowance now. And finally, again, amazing thank you and shout out to all the people that have donated and helped the channel grow and helped us keep going over this period. My awesome moderators like Tellerboy and Miss Worm and everyone else that's been involved as members of the channel. A big special thank you to Ration Nerd. At a point when we were doing a lot of solar monitoring and my computer system failed, he made an epic donation to the channel that helped us get straight back on our feet again. And that, I mean, overwhelming. Words can't describe. And it really does strike up a lot of emotion in me when you guys are so willing to help out somebody. And it just shows how good this community is. So at one point, the savior of the channel, at least in the short term, was Ration Nerd. And as a tiny little way of repaying him, I need to play his advert.
Let's not do it.
Let's not do it.
Oh, God damn it.
Thank you, Rasher Nerd, a true friend to me, a true friend to the channel, and can't wait to get over the States to join up for you for a couple of videos in person. And hopefully, going into 2025, we'll grow this community even more and keep it the nice, right place for preppers to come to and talk to other preppers without all the fear, without all the scariness, and just a good place to start getting you on your prepping journey. Hope that wasn't too much of a ramble, guys. Have a great Christmas. Hope you get spoiled. Hope the big man comes and gives you lots of presents under the tree. And we will see you really soon in another video. Goodbye.
Yeah.